Let's go to Bulawayo, where Highlanders coach Mark Harrison says he'll be adding 7 new players before the start of the season as the Bulawayo Giants seek an early grip on the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League title race that has been dominated by FC Platinum for the past 3 years. Bosso last won the league title in 2006, exactly 4 years after their trailblazing 4 back-to-back league titles under Raman Gumbo and later the late Eddie May. Now 16 years later, another British native is in charge of the Bosso dugout, and an aura of excitement is building among the club's faithful. It's Mark Harrison in charge. He's a coach, Barry, that has been met with very little success in his stints in charge of Harare City, in charge of Caps United, and the Highlanders faithful will perhaps meet his appointment with a bit of hesitancy, as it were, in terms of the confidence stakes ahead of next season, because they don't know what to expect.
There will be some apprehension, I think, around his appointment, but I think that the Highlanders fans have one up on possibly all the fans in Zimbabwe, and I'm going to be hated for this, but then that's because Highlanders fans that I think are very educated about the game. So they love to be entertained. They love to watch exciting football. And Mark Harrison, even if he hasn't delivered trophies where he's been in Zimbabwe, has certainly delivered exciting football. So I think on that standpoint, Highlanders fans will be excited that they're going to go to Emagumeni expecting to see the team entertain, the team play open, expansive football, and hopefully at the end of the day, deliver a win.
Yeah, I think I must agree with you that I think Highlanders fans are very different from fans of the other teams in the country, in that if the team is entertaining, even when the results are not coming, they're likely to show up at Barberfield Stadium to back the boys. That's why they've got the highest stadium attendances in the Premier Soccer League. Now, you take a look at the squad that they have, Chris. They finished the last season on a high, but it was with a different coach, and their confidence would certainly have been a lot higher if they had managed to keep hold of Peter de Jong. He's moved over to FC Platinum, and the Highlanders, at least right now, I think their main battle would be to make sure that Prince Dube, their best player, remains in their ranks ahead of the start of the new season.
Definitely, there needs to be someone from the original spine that had been put together previously from the winning days. I'm going to disagree with you guys a little bit on the fact that the Highlanders faithful, in as much as they don't consistently just demand results, I think you've got a Highlanders now that has had a taste for the silver, as it were. Last season, they managed to grab the Chibuku Super Cup, and that in itself means they want an upward trajectory. They're not going to be expecting to just draw games.
No. I think
pick up games
you
here
probably
and there,
misunderstood it, Chris. We didn't say that they won't be expecting to win, but we've said that more than any other set of fans, they are not quick to vote with their feet and leave the stadium. They will show up. Even when the team is struggling, they tend to show up.
As
long as the team is playing well and entertaining, you will get fans show up at Barberfield Stadium.
They might show up, but my thing is, I think Mark Harrison is not coming into the situation that Peter de Jong did. I think the Highlanders fans now want something more, and that's what he needs to give
Definitely,
them.
they certainly want something more. And does he have a style of play, Alois, Mark Harrison, that the Highlanders fans will latch onto? Because, style at Highlanders is very big. If having been fed, that generation, the golden generation, 1987, Yana Mercedes Vanda, Willard Kumalo, Douglas Molloy, right through to the Peter Ndlovu era around 1990, and Abraham Bambo Makenya to 1993. Style has always been a big part of Highlanders, and does Mark Harrison offer that?
I'm not sure. If you ask me, a good guy, nice guy, good friend of mine, and all that. But I think when you look at de Jong, I think he was a perfect fit for Highlanders. And if he had carried on, it was going to have been very brilliant for Highlanders. Mark Harrison prefers those, he's more like Norman Mapes.
Slow methodical
build-ups. At Barberfields, they don't get excited about that. They don't get excited about that. You remember we spoke about Prince Dube, that he got into his groove after de Jong came because of the fast-paced play.
The play was more direct.
Yes, more direct. That's what Bosso need. They are very quick at whistling and making a lot of noise to spur their team to go forward. And now you can't be whistling for a team that is
doing 18 passes in its own half.
You're not gonna be whistling for that. So I don't know if it's gonna get all in sync. We'll wait and see. But his type of play is different from de Jong. I would have thought Highlanders should have done all they could to hold on to De Jong because he actually brought the Highlanders of old back into it.
Okay, we want to hear from Highlanders fans and football fans in general. We've got an online poll. It's running on Twitter, actually. If you can take part in it. Will Highlanders win the league this season under Mike Harrison? Is a simple question that we are asking. And there are 4 options you've got to choose from. Will Highlanders win the league this season under Mark Harrison? Do take part in that Twitter poll. You can also just send us your thoughts on WhatsApp as well. 0731 168 045. By way of an update, if you want to know what's happening at Highlanders, impeccable sources say Boso will soon start talks with the former sons Obadiah Tarumbwa as well as Mukakeli Dube, who are training with the rest of the team in their ongoing pre-season preparations. Boso have parted ways with influential defender Clive Piri, one of their best players, as well as of course midfielder Denzel Kumalo, who joined FC Platinum. So they've got some slots that they need to fill with experienced players, and also the junior slots where the likes of Andrew Mbemba, outstanding prospect, he's turning 20, meaning that he will no longer be registered as a junior. So there's some options there, Barry, for some upcoming youth players at Boso to be registered with the squad.
Absolutely. I mean, there are 2 players that were registered under the juniors category slot, Divine Mindirira and Russell Chifura. They'll have to work extra hard if they are to be registered in the seniors category, since they are 2 turning 20 this month. So there is a bit of movement upwards and movement outwards at Highlanders. Let's see who comes in and fills those spots.
Now, a quick update of an administrative nature. According to sources, PSL sponsors Delta Beverages are set to unveil a $75 million sponsorship deal for the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League, which will run for the next 3 years, while the beverages manufacturers directors have remained tight-lipped about the new deal that is set to be announced in the next 2 weeks. Sources close to the conglomerate revealed that Delta and PSL have agreed to keep the same sponsorship deal that was unveiled in 2017 when Delta extended its relationship with the country's flagship football league.
Hi, this is Sikandar Raza from Zimbabwe Cricket Team, and you're watching me on ZiFM Sports.
Says that I am a Highlanders fan, but us winning the league with Harrison, nope. Maybe retain our Chibuku Super Cup. That is possible. That's a message from Breezy, of course, who says that he's a Highlanders fan. Boso will finish top 4 Kwete Kutora League. Tafadzwa Kamukuti. You don't tell us where you are writing us from.
Okay, so we did ask that question on Twitter. Will Highlanders win the league this season under Mark Harrison? And of course, there were 4 options there: champions in waiting, challengers, average side, and not a chance. And I can tell you the results are in, guys. Lots of votes that came in, and I can tell you that a tie between no chance and average side. On
Wow!
But 29% each.
No, that's hard.
And then 27% challengers, and then 15% of voters think that Highlanders are champions in waiting.
I don't understand why fans of a club like Highlanders, after they finish so strongly, that they can actually think that they can challenge for the championship. I'm confused. I'm surprised.
The Twitter poll, though, may of course have been. It may have had fans of other teams as well who
probably
give their opinion.
I really don't understand. They finished strongly. That's they finished strongly, and they didn't lose their star player. They lost Denzel, but he doesn't play in a very critical position. And the fact that they kept Prince, which was actually very, very critical for that team, and they kept Mudua for that critical position as well. I don't see why they can't actually be confident.
And I think
because they've one of the few that are consistent, that kept a consistent squad.
Yeah, they'll need to find a good right back because for my money, Clive Piri was the best right back in the league. Fantastic player. Denzel, I don't think is a big loss because
I don't think so
I
either.
think he's going to allow Brian Banda to flourish, and because those two were swapping, in terms of if one is selected for a few weeks, then the other one comes in, and so forth. But I think if Brian Banda is entrusted with the responsibility, and we saw the type of goals that Brian Banda can score from outside of the box, I think he's a better player than Denzel Kumalo. He's the player I think that De Jong should have taken if he wanted a creative spark at FC Platinum. He should have gone with Brian Banda.
For a team that only lost McClive McLive, I don't see why fans are not confident enough that they can actually challenge.
I think there's a bit of voting along party lines, if you want to use the parliamentary parlance, whereby I think fans of other teams are just voting to say that Bosa hasn't got a chance because they want their team to succeed. This one says, hi guys, I agree with Manandi. I love Manandi's comment about us being educated fans who understand football. That's why we are soft. We were soft with Madinda. I can't wait to watch the match against FC Platinum. That's Anele in Bulawayo.